Hello, my friends. Today, let's start with some very good news. Senator Lindsey Graham said we should wait for an official statement from Trump, but he already hinted that there is going to be a massive flow of weapons to Ukraine, enough to actually win against Russia. Take a close listen to his statement.
But the game regarding Putin's invasion of Russia is about to change. I expect in the coming days you will see weapons flowing at a record level to help Ukraine defend themselves. I expect in the coming days that there will be tariffs and sanctions available to President Trump he's never had before. I expect in the coming days more support from Europe regarding their efforts to help Ukraine. Putin made a miscalculation here. For 6 months, President Trump tried to entice Putin to the table. The attacks have gone up, not down. One of the biggest miscalculations Putin has made is to play Trump. And you just watch in the coming days and weeks, there's going to be a massive effort to get Putin to the table. And to those who are helping him, China buying cheap Russian oil and having no accountability, those days are about over.
So, most likely, I will be hearing a lot of good news soon because the Ukrainian forces will finally start pushing the Russians back. We understand Trump's goal is to get Putin to the negotiation table, but we also know for sure that Putin won't agree to that. He is determined to achieve his objectives at any cost. That's when something might happen that military experts have warned about before. Russia has been on the offensive non-stop for over a year now, and their troops are clearly worn down. Even Russian war bloggers are saying soldiers are being sent straight into combat from hospitals. That shows how desperate the situation is. So, if a huge supply of weapons really does come through, there is a good chance Ukraine could turn the tide and start pushing the front line back. For now, this is still just speculation. We are waiting for official announcement and concrete actions. Now let's move to today's battlefield situation because right now there is no big shipment of weapons yet and things are extremely tough on the ground. Let's start with the Pokrovsk direction where the highest level of Russian activity is taking place, over 60 assaults in just one day. The Russians are storming Volodymyrivka, Razine and Novoekonomichne. Russia's Ministry of Defense claims they've fully taken the village of Mykolaiivka, located right next to Novoekonomichne, but the Ukrainian General Staff has yet to confirm that. And they are also attacking Myrolubivka, pushing toward the outskirts of Pokrovsk, storming Udachne and Molodetske, and advancing near Kotlane. The entire area is under heavy drone surveillance, and the situation is getting worse by the day. Whether this territory can be held is now a big question. But the Russians are doing everything they can to encircle our positions. Ukrainian fighters report that the Russians are using drones very actively around Dobropillia. The Russians are now going all in on Dobropillia, says a soldier with the call sign Alex. It used to surprise me that they'd hit the Kramatorsk-Dobropillia highway with FPV drones but rarely targeted Dobropillia itself. Now they've shifted part of their drone units from the Kostiantynivka direction to the Pokrovsk area. It looks like they are trying to start a drone safari over Dobropillia. In the Novopavlivka direction. Russian assaults continue on Muravka, the advancing through the fields toward Novopavlivka, and there are active battles for Orikhove, Oleksiivka, Dachne, and Filia. The status of the village of Myrne remains uncertain for now, as the Ukrainian General Staff hasn't yet confirmed its loss. However, the Russians already raised their flags yesterday, claiming full control. So, most likely, the front line has already shifted and stabilized, as seen on geolocation based maps, but we're still waiting for an official statement. In the Velykyi direction, fighting continues on the outskirts of Shevchenko village. Russian forces are also assaulting Timurivka and trying to break through near Zelene Pole, though for now the front line in this area remains unchanged. In the Gulay Pole direction, the Russians haven't launched any new assaults, and the situation remained unchanged over the past 24 hours. In the Zaporizhzhia direction, the loss of the village of Kamianske hasn't been confirmed by the Ukrainian side. It's reported that fighting is still ongoing for the northern part of the village. At the same time, there has been a significant increase in shelling, and the Russians remain active in this area, trying to advance further. For now, we're waiting new information about the village. Despite Russian claims, there have been no video confirmations so far that clearly show Russian forces present in the northern part of Kamianske. So for now, we are waiting for clarification. In the Kherson direction, the Russians continue attacks in the Antonivsky Bridge area and are trying to push through near Bilogorudove Island. However, all attacks have been successfully repelled. The front line remains unchanged and shelling continues at the usual intensity. Now moving to the Kostiantynivka direction. Activity here is not at its peak, but the Russians are still advancing, trying to get close to Kostiantynivka as much as possible. However, Ukrainian forces have been able to keep the Russians at a greater distance compared to the Pokrovsk area. Here, the Ukrainian forces are more successful in repelling attacks, and there haven't been any new breakthroughs by the Russians in quite some time. Still, they continue trying to break through near Bila Hora, launching assaults around Delievka, Sherbinivka, and attacking Yablonivka, Stepanivka, Rusin Yar, and Popov Yar. And there is also a high concentration of FPV drones in this area. The logistics routes remain under Russian surveillance, so the situation is quite difficult. But despite all this, there have been no changes to the front line so far. In the Siversk direction, Russian forces are pushing toward Dronivka, attacking Serebryanka, and attempting advances near Grigorivka, Ivano-Daryevka, and Vyemka. However, just like before, the situation hasn't changed over the past day. So far, the Russians have been unable to make any progress. In the Lyman direction, the Russians continue storming Dvorichna, Kolodezi, Zelena Dolina, and Shandrigolove with ongoing battles near Kharkivka and assaults on Novy Mir and Druzhelyubivka. Meanwhile, Ukrainian forces are actively launching counterattacks, which are preventing the Russians from advancing any further. As for Zelena Dolina, the Ukrainian General Staff hasn't yet confirmed the loss of the village, so we're waiting for official information. Although geolocation maps show the village in the red zone, and Russians are posting videos claiming they are there. No definite confirmation has been made yet. In the Borova direction, attacks are currently focused only on the village of Zeleny Hai. However, the Russians haven't made any progress and there have been no changes to the front line in the past 24 hours. In the Kupiansk direction, Russian forces are pushing near Kindrashivka, storming Petropavlivka and Novosinove, and attempting to advance toward Stepova Novopavlivka and Peshane. But just like before, the Ukrainian forces are successfully repelling all attacks, and there are no changes in the situation. In the Dvorichna direction, no new assaults were recorded over the past 24 hours, and the front line remains unchanged for now. In the Velykyi Burluk direction, the Russians are attempting to storm Chuhunivka and continue to carry out shelling, but so far they haven't managed to advance further. Yesterday, the Ukrainian forces released a video showing Russian troops being destroyed closer to the village of Dachne, and there is a possibility that this strike stopped the advance, which is why no movement has occurred. So for now, we are waiting to see how the situation develops on this part of the front. In the Kharkiv direction, the Russians continue to attack the village of Lyptsi and are also storming the village of Zelene. However, as before, all attacks are being repelled and the front line remains unchanged. In Vovchansk, the fighting also continues in the same pattern. The Russians are launching multiple assaults daily, but are not achieving any success. The Ukrainian forces are managing to destroy them. In the Sumy direction, Russian activity remains high. The Russians are trying to break through along nearly the entire front line, but have made no gains. Under pressure from the Ukrainian forces, they are being forced to gradually retreat. For now, we are watching to see how the situation develops, but it's clear that Ukrainian forces are continuing counterattacks and fighting is now taking place beyond the established front line. And that's all from me. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on all the latest news. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.